Before beginning today's video, I'd like to thank Locke as well as Black Fang for your kind donation in my recent YouTube stream. Another announcement that I'd like to make is the release of Zeeebo Gaming's channel membership system. So this membership system works similarly to Patreon, where there's various tiers and you can support your content creator financially based on your own financial capabilities. So currently this channel has 3 tiers, which are Zeegapies, Dolphins, and Zeeewheels. So these 3 different tiers have different benefits based on their tiers, and other than the benefits that you receive based on the membership offers, there will also be custom made emojis, which will have more added along the way, as well as channel membership badge, which will appear alongside your name when you attend Zeeebo Gaming's YouTube live streams. So feel free to take a look at this membership system and join based on your financial capabilities to support this channel in the long run, and I appreciate you hearing this message, and let us begin today's video. Veronica is the Arch Priestess of the Chosen One, and she has an amazing skill set on paper. Her exclusive weapon is known as Messiah. However, will she be able to liberate us from the likes of Future Knight and Future Princess in this meta, or will she flounder against them? In today's video, let us analyze how worthy is Veronica Potentially. This will be the format for today's video. As usual, we'll look at her stats, skills, story, as well as exclusive weapon. We'll be showcasing her attack animation within the guild hall to see her strengths and weaknesses. I'll then discuss a bit in the Colosseum and Arena Analysis to see whether or not Veronica will be the next big hit. Then I'll discuss the prowess of Veronica in terms of the PvE aspect, and this will be a bit long because there's a lot of things that I want to talk about. And I'll end off this video with some final thoughts and opinions on my end. The Chosen One is a group of people with a belief that a legendary hero will descend and give them salvation in the midst of the invaders' invasion. They aim to find the Chosen One through tough trials, and it is told that no one has survived their trials so far. On the outside, the Archpriestess Veronica is a kind lady who is completely fanatic about the Chosen One. Her eyes gives off a gruesome sparkle when she compels the non-believers to kneel and repent for their mistake, while it sparkles when she encounters a Chosen One candidate. Recently, a newly rumored Chosen One candidate, the Guardian Knight, has sparked Veronica's attention. Veronica is ranked 16 in terms of attack, 4th in terms of defense, 8th in terms of crit chance, and 31st in terms of HP. Her party buff is skill attack plus 80% at maximum potential, and her normal attack is punishment, where she releases Holy Light to inflict damage at mid-range on the enemy. Her secondary ability, Blessing of the Chosen One, increases teammates' crit hit multiplier by 100% for 4 seconds when used. Her chain skill, which is the Light of Courage, inflicts 180% DPS on enemy target and increases the whole team's crit hit chance and attack by 30% for 5 seconds. Her special ability increases damage while decreases damage taken by 50% of her weapon skill regen speed. I'm not too sure about how this weapon skill regen speed is calculated, or whether or not there's a base value to it, because by mathematical logic, all units should have a base of 100% weapon skill regen speed, which would then be adjusted based on buffs and debuffs coming from your party buff, equipment, as well as artifacts within the game. However, what we can confirm based on this statement is that the addition of weapon skill regen speed from her equipment, as well as party buffs from the likes of Sohi or Future Knight, could potentially increase her overall damage output and decrease the damage that she takes by up to 30%. Her EX weapon, known as the Messiah, actually buffs her stats by quite a ginormous amount. So for crit chance will be buffed by 15%, her skill damage can be buffed up to 30%, and weapon skill regen speed and HP can be buffed by up to 20%. So the exclusive weapon will allow her secondary ability, which is the Blessing of the Chosen One, to inflict 150% of DPS damage on enemy when used, and allows her to restore party members' HP by 15%. So it allows her to turn her secondary ability into a mini nuke or mini heal if she has an EX weapon equipped. Her exclusive weapon skill known as the Divine Stigma deals up to 280% DPS damage and has a pretty decent regen time of 8.5 seconds. However, this weapon skill is kinda slow, and I'll explain in greater details in the following part of the video. Veronica will swing her staff at an average speed and attack the enemy with energy bolts. So this attack is able to pass through walls but not terrain. Her exclusive weapon skill known as the Divine Stigma will allow her to release the Divine Stigma as shown, and it will explode, causing 3 damage ticks after a few seconds. So I'll show it again on screen. As you guys can see, this is 1 stigma and this will be 3 ticks of damage. So this weapon skill usually takes around 3 to 4 skill to crowd control your enemy within the arena, and takes around 2 to 3 weapon skill to crowd control the boss monsters within the PvE content. So her secondary ability will allow her to deal damage and heal your teammate if she has her EX weapon equipped. So overall, Veronica's attack is actually pretty okay because she's able to attack through walls, and she's able to hit decently hard with above average attack stats. Now let us look at the Colosseum and Arena Analysis. So based on the Colosseum rankings, we can see that Veronica does not really see much usage, as the power level of Future Princess, Future Knight is simply too overwhelming from a control point of view. Because this combination actually renders the potential big damage that could come from Veronica's crit hit multiplier buff to be rendered relatively obsolete, because your unit will not be able to deliver damage when they're constantly held down by Princess weapon skill. So Veronica, being a standalone unit, does not really offer much to benefit the big girl in the game mode, which is Future Princess. So at the current phase of the meta right now, Veronica isn't really that useful within the Colosseum, but she can definitely pair well into the existing Garum teams. From the arena point of view, Veronica does have some potential when paired with the likes of Future Knight due to the additional damage and tankiness that she receives from her special ability when she's paired with Future Knight's weapon skill regen party buff. Having lowered weapon skill regen cooldown is also helpful in ensuring that Veronica lands her chain skill more frequently within the arena match, as it is able to turn the tides sometimes when she's able to land it successfully. However, in my honest opinion, Veronica isn't really that efficient outside this team combination, as her weapon skill usually takes about 3 to 4 skills to chain the enemies if your enemies are constantly on the run, like mentioned earlier. So if you really don't have the weapon skill regen speed, most of the time you're not really gonna chain your opponent unless they stand still and let you chain them, right? So in this case, Veronica is gonna be crowd controlled most of the time, and even though Veronica has some pretty decent bulk, she doesn't offer that much as a standalone unit because she doesn't hit as hard as fast with the likes of Garum, and neither is she as tanky as the tankers such as Ogma and Future Princess. So she's not like extreme in these two aspects. So she's going to be like the run around, chain your opponent and try to outlast them kind of hero. So she's definitely usable under most team comps, but not very outstanding unless you pair her with the likes of Future Knight. So I'll showcase some of my own arena matches with her, so enjoy the montage and feel free to re-evaluate her in the arena based on your own perspective. Now onto the PV discussion. So this PV discussion will be slightly longer because there's actually a lot to talk about, because Veronica is deemed as a premier guild raid unit when she's initially released based on many first impressions, but after a while and after some trial and error with some KR top players, Veronica doesn't really see as much usage. So I'll explain why in a bit. And yeah, let us talk about Veronica in the PV discussion. So she's able to fit well into most teams with her universal to down chain skill and her universal party buff. And the crit hit multiplier coming from her secondary ability is definitely sweet to have to boost your team's overall damage in most PV contents. However, Veronica faces two serious issues as a unit. So the number one serious issue that she faces is actually a lack of synergy within her skill set, because as a support, she's able to buff your team's crit hit multiplier, but her party buff is not crit hit chance boosting. So your team is not going to crit as often, and hence your team will not be able to benefit from her crit hit multiplier buff as much if they are not critting. So you can actually solve this issue by including a teammate with the crit hit chance party buff, such as Bianca or Gabriel, to fully maximize this crit hit multiplier buff from Veronica. However, this leads to another problem, and that is a lack of party slot within the guild raid team. So you can only have 4 units, and if you have, you know, like one key unit for damage and one Bianca or Gabriel to boost the crit hit chance, then you're left with 2 slots within the party, and Veronica will be competing with the likes of Nari, Coco and Gramarye, each with their own awesome party buff and debuff skill set, you know, within the team. So let us look at this from the perspective of a mono water raid team. So in a usual mono water raid team, you'll have Garam as the water leader because his water party buff is really good for your whole team, and you'll have Bianca to boost the whole team's crit hit chance, you know, and also to allow Veronica to, you know, better benefit from her multiplier buff for the whole team. So having Nari in this range team will boost your team's damage tremendously, because Nari provides range, defense, debuff and range attack party buff. So these 3 units are more or less the set in stone unique units you want within your water raid team, because, you know, they just fit in so well together with the chain skill. So these 3 units confirmed. Then you'll only be left with 1 slot for Veronica to compete with Gramarye and Coco. So in retrospect, Veronica is definitely going to perform better as a standalone unit compared to the 2 rare units, because she hits harder and she offers 8% more skill attack within her party buff at max potential. But Veronica will be way more expensive to maximize because her exclusive weapon is in the epic category and it is harder to max limit break, and she costs 350 more hero crystals to max limit break in terms of levels as well. So you guys can probably see where this discussion is going. Veronica is definitely not a bad unit by all means, but she's gonna be pretty expensive as compared to other cheaper supports in the current pool of heroes. So nonetheless, there is definitely some untapped potential within Veronica's kit, and she might get better in the future as more units with better overall synergy with Veronica is released to complement her skill set and also to further maximize your team's overall damage. So how worthy is Veronica potentially? She's a pretty awesome unit to own if you are not heavily invested in other damage boosters, and she's primarily going to serve the same purpose as a team support with the likes of Coco, Nari and Gramarye. And although she has some fighting capabilities within the arena when paired with Future Princess, in my opinion she's a pretty well balanced hero. Not super OP, but balanced right now. And if she had the crit hit chance party buff instead of a skill attack, I think she'll be pretty OP, because she's basically a Bianca combined with a Coco in your team. So the value of investing in Veronica right now really depends on whether or not you value her crit hit multiplier as a damage booster as compared to the defense debuff that the existing her debuffers are already offering for your team. She might not be super duper powerful in the current state of the game, but I feel that she can definitely pack a punch when more units which complement her skill sets are released in the future. So, will you invest in Archpriestess Veronica when she's released officially on the global server? Do let me know down in the comment section below what you think about her after watching this video, and thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell in order to see more videos from this channel, and do visit the Zeeebo Gaming membership page if you have the financial capabilities to support Zeeebo Gaming financially in the long run. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!